After 6 brutal weeks battling wildfires in the Rockies, all I wanted was a shower, clean sheets, and 12 hours of dreamless sleep. Instead, I pulled my dusty government truck into my own driveway and found 3 patrol cars blocking my garage. And there she was, Gloria Sanders, self-proclaimed queen of the Meadow Ridge Estates HOA, live streaming to her handful of loyal Facebook followers. The fake federal agent returns. Gloria screeched at her phone, as if she were reporting on a mafia takedown, not a sooty firefighter dragging himself home. I cut the engine and sat there, too tired to be angry. I'd spent the last month protecting federal land, 50,000 acres of forest I oversee for the Bureau of Land Conservation, but apparently my biggest fire was waiting for me right here, on my front lawn. Officer Bradley Hayes tapped on my window first. He looked more exhausted than me. "Sir, we got to report you're trespassing on HOA-managed property," he said, voice apologetic. Behind him, Gloria waved a thick manila folder like she'd just cracked the Watergate files. "Officers, this man abandoned this residence for over 30 days. Section 49C of the Meadow Ridge HOA bylaws clearly states." She shoved forward a fake utility bill with her name photoshopped on it. From my truck, I could see the font didn't even match. I stepped out slowly, hands visible. "Officer, my name's Ryan Mitchell. I own this property. I've been deployed on federal duty at the Windy Gap fire." Gloria's camera zoomed so close I could see my own exhausted pores on her screen. Her audience, all 17 of them, typed things like "ladies nuts" and "bro, let him shower." That's when my 72-year-old neighbor, Mrs. Lopez, shuffled over waving my spare key. "Senor Ryan, what is this nonsense?" "Gloria, you know he lives here. I've been watering his tomatoes." Gloria's lips twitched, but she doubled down, turning back to her stream. "This elderly woman has been coerced by a con artist. It's a deep state operation." I almost laughed, but I didn't have the energy. Officer Hayes scanned my federal ID, cross-checked my property deed, and handed it back with an exhausted sigh. "You're good to go, sir. Sorry for the trouble." But Gloria wasn't done. She yanked out another stack of paper. "Wait, I have proof he's faking federal credentials." She handed it to Hayes like she'd unearthed classified files. It was a pile of printouts from conspiracy websites, how to spot a government imposter, photos she'd snapped of me checking my mail, my LinkedIn circled in red marker. Hayes and his rookie partner flipped through it, trying not to laugh. The rookie found a page where Gloria had scribbled "fake" over my federal parking permit in glitter pen. "Ma'am," Hayes said, in the tone of a man explaining math to a cat, "Mr. Mitchell's paperwork checks out." Gloria spun to me, eyes wild. "You fooled them, but I know what you really are." She stabbed her finger at my chest. "This isn't over." It wasn't. By the next morning, my email pinged nonstop. Subject: urgent violation, grass measured at 3.125 inches, max allowed 3 inches. Subject: urgent violation, suspicious breathing near HOA common sidewalk, 2:15 p.m. Subject: urgent violation, suspicious birds singing past quiet hours. Gloria didn't stop there. She launched a website, exposethefraudagent.com, with a flashing eagle gif and off-key patriotic music. The homepage? A photo of my face with federal imposter in Comic Sans. Her YouTube channel, Gloria's Neighborhood Watch, had all of 42 subscribers, probably half fake accounts. Her masterpiece was a 98-slide PowerPoint titled "Ryan Mitchell, a Deep State Study." Emails and ranting were annoying. But on day 3, Gloria escalated. I woke up to 30 wooden stakes driven halfway into my yard. Each was labeled HOA territory in bright pink paint. Gloria stood at the edge directing her poor husband, Ed, who looked like he'd rather be on a pirate ship in a hurricane. I stepped outside. "Morning, Ed." He flinched. "Sorry, Ryan." She made me. I took photos of every stake, logged GPS coordinates, and sent Gloria a certified cease and desist letter. Her response? A Facebook Live where she dramatically fed my letter into her fire pit. "Fake legal threats from fake agents mean nothing," she shrieked as her dozen fans posted angry face emojis. Mrs. Lopez caught me by my fence later. "Mijo, that woman's family has a history. Big gambling problem. Her grandfather lost everything at the Lucky Ace Casino in the 50s. He told everyone the government stole his land. Pure lies." She handed me an old, yellowed clipping. Local rancher loses 200 acres in legendary poker game. Suddenly, everything clicked. Gloria wasn't just power-hungry. She'd spent her life avenging a family lie. I carefully removed every stake from my land and stacked them neatly by the curb. As I placed the last one, I heard Gloria's deadly calm voice behind me. 911. Yes, the fake federal agent is destroying HOA property. Also, I saw him moving large guns into his shed. Automatic rifles, probably illegal. I froze mid-shovel. The only things in that shed were a rake, a shovel, and fertilizer. Within minutes, I heard sirens. 5 squad cars, 1 armored SWAT van. Gloria gleefully adjusted her ring light for her exclusive takedown. I stood in my driveway holding a watering can, hands up, trying to look as unthreatening as possible. Hayes stepped out, giving me a look that said this is above my pay grade. SWAT surrounded my shed like it was Pablo Escobar's hideout. Gloria narrated, "He knows they're about to find his weapons cache. This is justice, people." An officer kicked open the shed door and radioed back deadpan, "Command, we've got a rake." Hayes approached, pinching his nose. "Sir." Again. "ID?" I handed him my Bureau of Land Conservation badge. Gloria screeched behind him, shoving her phone in his face. "See, BLC doesn't exist. Google says BLC means Beach Lovers Club." He bought a fake badge off Etsy. Hayes verified my credentials on his tablet. When the confirmation beeped, he looked ready to cry with relief. Gloria, meanwhile, claimed I was probably embezzling millions and demanded they seize my bank records. Her poor husband, Ed, whispered, "Honey, maybe this is enough?" She hissed, "Ed, not another word about your grandfather's poker game." I let her spiral. Sometimes, the best plan is to let your enemy hang themselves. A week later, Gloria booked the community hall for an emergency HOA summit titled Exposing the Federal Fraud. She mailed 200 invites, printed 50 posters, and rented her nephew's wedding livestream rig. The hall was half empty. Mrs. Lopez brought popcorn. Ed sat in the back sipping bourbon from a coffee thermos. Gloria fired up her PowerPoint. Slide after slide of my crimes, photos of me reading on my porch, zoomed in screenshots of my garbage cans. By slide 57, half the crowd had wandered out. She called a vote to have me evicted for fraud. She raised her hand dramatically. Ed kept his down. Only her neighbor Nancy reluctantly raised hers. Final count. 2 yes, 37 no. "Traitors," she shrieked. "Compromised by the deep state." That night, I got the best email of my life. My agency's legal department was taking over. Gloria had filed so many bogus reports with the IRS, EPA, and even Space Force that she'd triggered federal harassment charges. The next week, a certified envelope landed in Gloria's mailbox. An official invitation to appear at a federal accountability session. She live-streamed herself squealing with joy. "They're finally recognizing my bravery. I'm a whistleblower." She bought a new pink suit and practiced a victory speech in her bathroom mirror. Poor Ed just sighed. The big day arrived. The federal building auditorium was packed. Local news crews. Half the neighborhood. Gloria sat front row, beaming at every camera. The prosecutor stepped up. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today because of the relentless efforts of one person." Gloria stood up, smoothing her suit, whose actions revealed a pattern of false reporting, defamation, and harassment. The curtain behind him dropped. A huge screen displayed "The People versus Gloria Sanders, Abuse of Process Hearing." Gloria's face melted in real time. They played clips from her own live streams. Burning my cease and desist letter. Screaming at SWAT to seize my rake. Calling the IRS to investigate my tomato plants. Ed slumped in his chair, sipping from a hidden flask. "Mrs. Lopez cackled next to him. Finally, the prosecutor said, "Mr. Mitchell, would you like to add anything?" I stood, box of old documents in hand. "Sure. You know, Gloria, your grandfather never lost land to the government. He lost it at the lucky ace. He had a winning hand for queens. He folded because he panicked. He lied to cover his shame. And you've been fighting a ghost story ever since." Ed stood up, wobbly, holding an old envelope. "I've been hiding this for 30 years, Gloria. It's his confession. He lied. He lost everything fair and square." He handed it to the prosecutor. Gloria broke. She collapsed in her seat, mascara streaking down her cheeks. The judge spoke next. "Gloria Sanders, you are hereby banned from any HOA position in this state for life. You owe Mr. Mitchell restitution for defamation and harassment. Probation. Therapy. No more Citizen Watch nonsense. They let her out, still live streaming, ironically capturing her own downfall. 6 months later, the neighborhood is peaceful. Mrs. Lopez is our new HOA president. First rule she wrote? Be nice or be quiet. The bylaws went from 180 pages to 1 page taped to the clubhouse fridge. Ed moved out, found a job at a hardware store, and according to Mrs. Lopez, he's dating the manager, finally free from the family curse. And me? I still manage my 50,000 acres. But now, my backyard is drama-free, my tomatoes grow tall. And my neighbor gossip is about who's grilling what for the block party, not imaginary conspiracies. One day, a letter came. Handwritten. Neat. From Gloria. Ryan. You were right. Grandpa lied. I fought the wrong enemy. Thank you for making me see. I'm learning to play a new hand now. Inside was a photo, Gloria at a Gamblers Anonymous meeting, 6-month chip in hand. Sometimes, the biggest win isn't revenge. It's watching someone learn when to fold.